Welcome to the weekend. We are going to close out this weekend with the last two events from the CrossFit Games, Friendly Fran and Damn Diane. So what we're going to do is get warmed up for both. We're going to start with some box crawling. So for this guy's, hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, and then you're just going to crawl a few steps to the left, a few steps in reverse, a few steps to the side, and a few steps forward, and just continue that box pattern. If you don't have room for a box, just crawl either forward and back or left and right. After that, we're going to go to our kettlebell for some thrusters. So for these guys, set your feet in your squat stance, and then you're going to get set up for your squat to your press. So that's your thruster. Make sure the hips are below the knees, and then you press and lock out overhead. Next, we're going to go to some kettlebell deadlifts. We'll switch to Bentover Rows at the halfway point. So for the deadlift, we're going to move the feet back in underneath us, shoulders down and back, butt back, shins are vertical, stand all the way up, push the butt back, tap the kettlebell, and stand. For our Bentover Rows, what you can do is grab the handles on the side like so, stand all the way up first, and then from here, just a slight hinge, and you're just rowing right above that belly button. Squeeze the shoulder blades together at the top for a few seconds. Next, we're going to go to empty barbell strict press, and we'll switch to a barbell or weighted PVC thruster after that halfway point. So for our strict press, guys, make sure your hands are outside the shoulders. A lot of you tend to be really narrow. It's very uncomfortable. Widen out the hands a little bit. Give yourself some room. From here, I'm going to tuck my ribs down, squeeze my butt, make sure that my legs are locked out, move my head slightly to get out of the way of the bar, come down, tap the shoulders, and repeat. So in the strict press, no lower body involvement. For our thrusters, when you switch in halfway, you're going to move out the feet a little bit to that squat stance. We'll squat all the way down and then lock out overhead. Use the bar as momentum to push you down into the next squat, and then use those legs to press the bar out overhead. If you're at home, you can use double dumbbell or kettlebell for both of those movements. And then lastly, we're going to go to our barbell with some plates for our deadlifts to warm up with. So in the deadlifts, for today, guys, I would definitely recommend a mixed grip. I would also recommend hook gripping. You don't want to lose that bar. We want to try and string a lot of these reps together. Shoulders are going to be down and back. We're going to push the butt back, bend the knees once the bar gets past the knees. From here, I'll keep the bar close to my body, stand all the way up. So butt back, once I get past those knees, bend the knees slightly, and stand all the way up. For the next part, will take about 5 minutes to get people situated on the pull-up rig, as well as if they're going to be doing handstand push-ups. We're also going to assign people to start on the Fran WOD, others to start on the Diane WOD, and then they'll have 5 minutes to switch. So for the first one, Friendly Fran, you have a 12-minute time cap on this. A lot of the games athletes finished in 5 minutes or less. So it is 3 rounds for time, 21 thrusters. The RX is 115 for the guys, 83 for the ladies, and 21 chest to bar pull-ups. I want you to try and aim to complete those thrusters and chest to bars in 3 sets or less each. One way to think about this, guys, is there's a total of 126 reps. So with a generous 12-minute time cap, what that means is you need to average 5 to 6 seconds per rep in order to meet that time frame. And that includes any transition time. So what that means is you shouldn't be on the struggle train. You should be stringing these reps together. All the games athletes went pretty much unbroken for everything. I'm not expecting that, but I definitely don't want to see 1 or 2 reps at a time of thrusters or pull-ups. So in terms of modifications, definitely reduce the weight to something you can complete, I would say 7 unbroken reps with each time you pick up the bar. For the pull-ups, I would recommend, if you can't go chest to bar, I would go chin over bar pull-ups. If you don't have any unassisted pull-ups, I would go jumping chest to bar, or if that's too hard, I would do jumping chin over bar. If you have any issue with gripping the bar, I would do ring rows instead. After a 5-minute transition, we're going to go into our second WOD, which is Damn Diane. Also a 12-minute time cap, 3 rounds for time, 15 deadlifts, 315 for the guys, 203 for the ladies, and 15 strict deficit handstand push-ups, 3.5 inches for the guys and 2 inches for the ladies. We're looking for the deadlifts to be completed in 3 sets or less. The strict handstand push-ups are very challenging, and these I would expect to be a lot more sets with fewer reps. So you might kick up and just do 2 to 3 reps, maybe 5 your first time. But kind of once those handstand push-ups go, they don't come back super quickly. So I would say break your reps up early, try to conserve a little bit of energy. For this, guys, to finish in that time cap, we're looking at around 8 seconds per rep. So again, that's why it's super important that you pick a deadlift weight that I would say you can complete at least 5 unbroken reps with every time you touch the bar. Again, games athletes went unbroken for all the deadlifts, not necessarily on the strict handstand push-ups though. For the push-ups, I would suggest removing the deficit if you can do some strict handstand push-ups. I wouldn't jump necessarily to doing kipping handstand push-ups, although that could be an option. I think we want to try and stick with the stimulus, which was a strict movement. So what I would suggest for that instead is to do a strict press with your barbell. I want it to be heavy though, so that every time you get to the bar, you can do about 3 unbroken reps with. That would just kind of mimic more the difficulty of a strict, especially deficit handstand push-up. So guys, be sure to think about how you're going to modify today's workout so that you can hit the intended stimulus, which is a relatively quick workout, mostly unbroken reps. As always, move well, good luck, and have fun.